You're watching this video either because you've never done a motorcycle oil change ever, or you have the CFMOTO 675 SS and you're looking at, hey, how do I do the oil change? It's the first time I've ever done it. This is also my first time ever doing it, so we're gonna kind of learn as we go, but it shouldn't be too difficult. I've done the 450 before, but without any interruption, guys, let's just get straight into it. So I know some people swear by Motul. This has always been good for me. And this is the NW40 K&N motorcycle ATV oil. It meets that standard as well. If you look into the owner's manual itself, I have it right here. And we have 4 US quarts here, as well as the K&N filter itself. So the 303, the KN 303 works, and I've heard from other people who have the bike that the KN 170, I think the KN 177 works as well. And I got 2 different kinds of fresh washers here. The M12, the M14. I can't remember which one it is, so when we take it off, I'm gonna figure that out, but we'll get to it. And of course, got the owner's manual here. You've gotta keep this nearby, you know, just to see how much oil capacity you need. Per the owner's manual, this bike takes 3.27 quarts, or that would be 3.1 liters if you're overseas, or if you're not on the same standard as United States. So what we're gonna end up using is 1 here. We're gonna use these first three, and this one, because it's 0.27, we're probably gonna use about 1/4 of it. So that should be fine. And if we need to add some, we can, that's fine. I'll probably add 3 to begin with, and then just slowly work the 4th one in and see where we're at, check the oil level as we go. All right, so what we'll need for this oil change, we will need a 5mm. You can get like an Allen wrench just like this, has more of like a grip on it, that's helpful. This is a smaller Allen wrench, it's also a 5, but that's gonna be for a certain screw that you're gonna need for the bottom part of the actual motorcycle. A funnel, obviously, for your oil, and then you get your socket wrench here. And then I always have like a kind of like a smaller extension here, and then I also have a larger extension as well. So there's a 2300 there, and there's a 2600 here. For the bolt and everything, you're gonna need a 17mm. And then if it is your first time doing the oil change, I recommend getting like an adapter like this that goes with a socket wrench, especially if it's like the crafted one that they have, or like any of the basic ones that don't have an actual bolt that you can twist off and use. Then 100% would recommend this. This is a knife. You're gonna use that to cut the tops, or at least the sides of the fresh oil so that it flows better. Optional, you don't need to, but it's optional. Obviously we have the owner's manual. I just have it, but if you want it nearby for any reference, I 100% recommend having it by. If not, there's an online version I know you can plug into. I know they have one. If you type it up, there's a whole online PDF of the actual owner's manual. Easy to use too. And obviously your necessities is just some shop towels and then some gloves. Always advisable to have some gloves with you. And then last but not least, oil container. And I know you guys want to ask, why are you doing the oil change? You're gonna be putting it away soon. Next month or 2, you could just do it then. I'm only sitting at like 2,060 miles. So the last change I had was at 800. So it's only been about 1,200, but personally, I like change mine between 1,000 and 1,500, and that may be too much for somebody, but for me, it won't hurt. Like if you're changing your oil every like 200 miles, then yeah, there's a problem. You know, give yourself some time. Obviously, more people put more miles on different bikes. There's people that do 2,000. I personally like to do it between 1,000 to 500, 1,000 to about 1,500, just based on how hard I've been riding it, or like the weather, just different circumstances like that. And I also wanted to create this video, and the reason why I'm doing it now and not just waiting, which I could wait. I want to get this video out because I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to be putting their bikes away soon. And there's a lot of people that do have this bike and they don't know how to do it and they want to be prepared. And I want to make sure I get this video out to you guys so that you are prepared. So when I do put the bike away, I'm going to do an oil change again. That's fine. I'm going to take the cost. It's okay. Again, wanted to create this more so for you guys, so you guys could figure it out and help navigate you guys and walk you through and see what it looks like. It's a little weird. A month from now, I'm going to be doing another oil change and then putting it away. Yeah, it's a little weird, but I really wanted to get this out to you guys because I've been thinking about it and I want to be able to provide the help for you guys. And there's some dealerships, you can ask your dealership as well. So if you did the break-in, I recommend doing the break-in inspection, like the 600-mile break-in. I recommend doing that one at the actual dealership. So do the break-in, the 600-mile one, at the actual dealership. Do that one. And then what my dealership told me, and they've said word for word, that if I keep the receipts for the oil and like the filter and everything like that, that's not going to void the warranty. A lot of people worry about like, oh, if I do the oil change, it's going to void the warranty. Talk to your dealership. That's the best way that I can say it. So my dealership said it's okay. Most dealerships are going to be cool with it as long as you save receipts. Some, not so much. That is, we're doing it ourselves, and I'm going to be doing it myself unless it's like an interval where, you know, something crazy needs to be inspected or something like that. So now that that interruption's out of the way, now let's get into it. All right, so to begin, we're going to be taking off these 4 bolts. So there's going to be 4 bolts here, 1 right here, 1 right there, and I'm pretty sure there's 2 underneath as well. one right here, and there is one right here. You'll be taking this bolt off, that bolt off, there's a bolt here, and there's a bolt there. And for this one, I had to use a smaller Allen wrench that I had that came with the bike's kit or whatever. And it's basically a plate that just pops off right here. So the plate pops off there and exposes basically the oil pan and then the actual oil plug right here. So this is what we're gonna be accessing. And you will be taking this off with the 5mm Allen wrench. So now we're gonna get our trusty waste oil storage container. Our little storage container here. What's awesome is that it fits like right underneath, it's perfect. So you kinda go like right there, it's like right in the spot. So yeah, so right here, got the oil actual container right here. We're gonna drain it. I'm gonna pop that open obviously right here. That's gonna be opened up. And then we're gonna pop that guy open. And just a little tip, if you want to drain a little faster, open the valve on the other side so that air will flow once it starts to move. So it should flow out a little bit faster than if you just left it by itself. All right, so now using our 17 mil, so it's gonna be a 17 mil, we are going to crack that bolt open and then it should start draining our oil. All right, so I moved it closer to the light so we could see what I'm doing here. Got the head cam on, I can't do this and hold the light at the same time. Okay, so open that up, move it over here. So now that should flow there. I recommend grabbing like a shop towel and kind of putting something along here. I recommend keeping one of these nearby. These are good to have. These are gonna save you. All right, so I'm gonna drop one probably right about here, just to be safe. It's not gonna go crazy. It's not gonna come flying out. What do you guys write about the oil burning thing? We'll find out. But I haven't noticed any oil burning. Some people like, so I like to keep mine on a kickstand because this is leaning the bike a certain way and the actual drain is on the left side where the bike is leaning. So you can feel like it drains a little bit faster or more efficiently. You can put your bike on a stand and then you'd have more room. You wouldn't have to keep your peg up or peg down. But just for this instance, we're gonna do it without the rear stand. So let's loosen this up. So it's about like hand. So you wanna loosen this till it's about hand loose. So you can loosen it with your hand. Just like that. So that was a quick kind of pull and it's ready. So we're gonna grab this and we're gonna try to grab this in one go here. There it is, perfect. Yep, so here we are, here's the bolt. Here is the crush washer that we're talking about here. I'm gonna see if that matches a certain size. It's recommended to replace that every time you do your oil change. I know some people don't, some people do. Take your pick. So yeah, the oil's going in there. Got a decent flow. And yeah, we're gonna let that drain. And this is a good time to inspect your oil. So right now I'm looking at it. I'm not seeing any metal shavings of any kind. You're probably not going to. This bike is brand freaking new. No shavings, no metallic pieces in there. We're good. We're gonna let that drain until it's dripping. And then seal it up. So yeah, we're just letting it drain. I'm just looking over some things. So I don't know if you guys can read this, but it literally says the 40 JASOMA2. That's just the rating for the oil. And this one definitely meets it. Just wanted to put that out there. So I usually use this time to kind of like overlook, you know, to review some things. Like if it's especially it's my first time, reviewing things. Like, okay, what specific thing here? Am I missing something? Just to make sure. You don't want to mess it up, especially not your first oil change. So the best part about motorcycles, if you've used to oil changes on your car, and this is your first time changing your oil on a bike, the best thing about it is they don't take that long to drain. There's not that much oil in there. All right, so what we're looking at is diameter here. We're looking at the diameter, so not necessarily the size of the actual, like how long this protrudes out. You wanna make sure that the diameter is correct here. Use this one here, the M12 here. There's a lot of debate, like if you can reuse your crush washers or not. So like this one, this is the one that I used. And you can tell like there's different kind of compressions and basically acts like it's like a sealant for any gaps or anything within the actual bolt. And I'm looking at mine, this one doesn't look bad at all. There's a little bit of an impression here. I've known people that reuse them like 5 times. Like this one doesn't look crushed to crap. So like normally these are like crushed or there's like cracks and it's pretty pushed in. That's when you definitely don't want to reuse it. But like technically if I wanted to reuse this one, I could reuse this one. It's not advisable, especially because the washers are super cheap to get. They're not even that expensive, but you could just reuse it. I'm not advising you should, but you could. And I definitely could reuse this one, but we're gonna be using a new one. So RIP. K&N's great. Mocho is also great. I'm not gonna try and bag on Mocho. Mocho's fine. You can use the higher end. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm never gonna be against using a higher grade oil. This one just works totally fine. It worked in my 450. And there's people that still use it for the 675. put this back on with a new washer that we have here. We're gonna seal that up, and then we're gonna get to the oil filter. It's a little bit tighter of a spot, but we'll get to it. All right, now we're gonna tighten this back up. So it's on the on, and we're gonna tighten it back up. And even with the filter, I was always taught that you you kind of squeeze it as much as you can with your hand, and then it's like 1 and then 2 with the actual socket wrench. So it's got got some more torque in there, so it's good to go. All right, so now that we're here, we're gonna use the 5mm here. Bolts back on. We're gonna use our 5mm. Now we're gonna take this screw here. There's 4 screws here. 1 there, 1 right up there, and then there's 2 down here on these 2 corners right here. We're gonna take these off, and then the filter should be back there, and I'll show you guys once we're done. All right, so we have the engine cover off here. This is kind of like the front cover where you can see the exhaust and everything. Oh, besides the absolute beautiful coloring on these pipes, it's a good time to inspect these too. So I'm looking at some of the springs in here. Everything looks good. Everything looks really good on here. Nothing's loose on anything. It's kind of nice. If we're looking though for the oil filter, it's right there. That's the oil filter. So now the thing about the CFMOTO crafted one that they do at the dealerships and everything is it doesn't come with an actual bolt on top of it, so you can't torque it out with a socket wrench. We're having a little adaptive device here that I will show you. It's a little trick. Point out that what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put some shop towel right over here, right above it, right in this area here, because we don't want that oil to drip all over that stuff. And we're also gonna move the pan directly underneath it, so if anything does drip, it's right there. All right, so normally people would say use these, right? And you kind of just tighten it and then you pull it. Can't do it with this. Is this awesome device that kind of adapts to the certain size. How are we gonna get in there, guys? Oh, look, there's an adapter. There's literally an adapter for a socket wrench right in here. So this is what it's gonna look like essentially. You're gonna put it in here, and as you feel it, it starts to tighten around it, and then you can just pull it up. Put that directly over. So let's get the shop towel in there. Not sure how much you guys can see, but there's an actual device that's clamped on there. If I loosen it, it starts to come off the filter, but if I tighten it, it'll start to grab the filter. So right now it's grabbing the filter, so all I need to do is twist it to the left, and luckily I'm able to use the socket wrench to apply some torque to it, so it'll be able to pull it off. So we're twisting it. Actually, that wasn't even on there that tight. So now we're gonna do this until we can basically use it by hand. All right, so you feel that kind of clunk. It's usually telling you that you're good. So that's good. So now we're gonna take this off. We should be able to just do this by hand. Yep, perfect. And like this. Let it drain, you can see it draining right there. Flip this upside down, like this. Don't wanna get oil on anything we don't want to. There it is. Here's the CFMOTO. So you can see it's draining. And I'm glad I put a shop towel there because you can see the shop towel starting to get some of that oil too. Yeah, so that filter's off. I have the shop towel there. You can see where it would be dripping down. And even there too, you can see the shop towel right there. It's holding all that oil. So we're just gonna pull it through the bottom once we're done, but let that just do its thing, and then we're gonna install the new one. So now we got the actual K&N filter here. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I've met some people, so the only reason why I say this, but I'm gonna keep doing it, is you take some of the old oil that's dripping off, and you kind of seal it around the edge here, around the actual diameter of the oil filter that's gonna be connecting on there. Usually wrap this up. I usually grab a shop towel or two, wrap it up, fine. I'm gonna grab the 17 mil piece so we can just screw this on. We don't need the attachment anymore, which is funny because I will never use this thing again unless somebody else needs it, or for whatever reason I need to take off another filter like that. And now we have the new filter, our 17 mil socket wrench, and then we'll grab some of the oil there, and then we will tighten it back up on there. Take like some from the old oil here that's in the actual container that you have, take it like this and just like right around the edge. Not too much, but just enough. You kind of want to speak to it. You want to say, what? Hey, get on there, do your thing. I know some people will like cringe at me doing this, but I've done it with all my cars. My cars run just fine. I've done it with my motorcycle. 450 works just fine. So once that's on there, we're gonna get this guy on here. All right, so we're tightening it by hand. Just like I said, as much as we can by hand. Our socket wrench, we're gonna tighten this up. Remember, 1, 2. So we're gonna go 1, like this, up, and then 2. That's it. Don't over tighten it, don't under tighten it. There it is, perfect. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this shop tail through the bottom because there's gonna be a lot of oil. I'm gonna pull it to the bottom. I don't want to touch any weird spots. Put it in the actual thing here. We're gonna clean basically just clean the area up a little bit. And position the container where it's still below the oil filter and the bolt, because when I put the oil back in case something happened with the bolt or the crush washer itself, we still have the actual container here in case something starts happening. So now we're gonna add the new oil. So just in case you guys are like, hey, you gotta torque it down, this is the exact torque that you need for the magnetic drain oil bolt, whatever, the washer. Torque would be, so overseas, I don't know what 25 Nm means, not sure, but 18.4 foot-pound per torque there, so that's what you want the torque at. All right, so now that it's time to add some oil. So got our trusty little funnel here, and this is where we had this open before, so we're gonna insert this here, like this, perfect, and we're gonna fill it with oil. K&N full synthetic. This is the oil we're using for the 3rd time. I recommend. What I did was I took a razor and I popped holes in the first 3 because I know we're going to use the first 3 because we need at least 3 quarts at the max. So this will help the flow of the actual oil when you start pouring it in. Instead of it kind of glugging, this will help. All right, so the first one. Oh yeah, look at that. Yep, so it's not draining any new oil, which is good. We want that. So we're just gonna keep adding oil.
Musicians have magic. Artists have...
All right, guys, so got the oil in there. I closed up the seal here. I put in 3 bottles, full quarts. Boom, boom, boom. And as I've been doing that, no oil has been leaking at all. I didn't cut open because I wanted to feed it in, especially if I'm gonna be saving the bottle of oil. Basically it's 3.27 quarts if you remember. And I took about a quarter of this bottle. Yeah, about a quarter of the bottle down into the actual bike. And I checked the level. That oil is like right at the line, perfect. So I think I did it perfectly. So we shouldn't need to drain any oil or have to add any more oil. It should be good. I think we did it perfectly. Did some math. So basically what I did was I took 946 milliliters, and because it was 3.27, that's 0.27, so it's about a quarter. So you do 946 divided by 4, 236. So I think 236 is about a quarter of that. 946 minus 236 milliliters, that equals about 710. And we're sitting right over the 700 mark on the bottle. So that is like right where it needs to be. I'm not gonna put anything back on yet. I'm gonna leave the front cover off, I'm gonna leave the oil pan right there, and I'm gonna leave the actual metal case right there. Everything's still off. I'm gonna fire up the bike. We also wanna confirm too that this bolt is on. We wanna make sure that's on. Obviously, if it wasn't on, we would have oil leaking everywhere. And we have the filter on. Filter's looking good. And the cap is on this guy. So that's good to go. So now we're going to turn the bike on, and then we're gonna remeasure the oil and then put everything back together. So we're gonna let it run, and I'm sure my neighbors are gonna be pissed again because it's like damn near midnight on a Tuesday.
You can't keep getting away with this!
So we're gonna, yeah, so oh my bad, we're at 2100. Whew, didn't even realize. So we're gonna start the bike. I'm sure it's gonna get mad. So here we go. All right, so I ran the bike, let it warm up. Don't see any leaks whatsoever. Nothing on the bolt, nothing by the oil filter. The oil was looking good, just checked it. So we're gonna put everything back together And that'll wrap it up. All right, guys, so oil change is all done. Oil's good. Everything's good. The level's still good. Still runs fine. So you have extra oil. So I recommend just keeping this. So that way the next time you buy oil, you only need to buy 3 quarts, because then you can just use another quarter of this oil. So yeah, guys, that sums up the oil change. I hope that is pretty much all I needed to cover. If I missed anything, feel free to drop a comment down below, or any things that you guys do differently that I think would be helpful, or things that might help somebody else. Feel free to drop that in the comment section below. Probably about a month and a half from now, I'll have a video talking about winter storage, especially if you're up here in the Midwestern states, or any state that the winter actually means something and it's not just like 60 degrees. And yeah, 60 degrees for winter would be great up here. But if you're down here, I'll have a video up about winter storage. That's all I got for you guys. I hope this video was helpful. I hope provided some insight. If you've never changed a bike's oil before, if you've never done an oil change ever in your entire life, and you just the first time ever, I hope this helps you a little bit. If you get the right oil, make sure you get a good filter for it. The ones I recommend are totally just fine. This is a good way to kind of save some money, just do it yourself. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. If you like the video, feel free to leave a like. It's been helpful and it seemed like an idiot, whatever, sure. Comment for any suggestions or any comments just throughout the video that you might have. Comment what oil you use and what oil filter. That'd be pretty cool to help other people out. And yeah, subscribe for more, guys. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.